Illegal immigration is one of the hottest debates in South Africa. From overcrowded schools to Uber drivers in Cape Town, the impact is real. But what's really happening? Let's break it down. South Africa borders 6 countries, making it a destination for people fleeing poverty, conflict, and economic collapse. Estimates suggest 1 to 3 million undocumented immigrants live in SA, but exact numbers are unknown because, well, they're undocumented. Most enter through Zimbabwe, Mozambique, and Lesotho. Some overstay visas, others cross illegally. But why does this matter to everyday South Africans? Illegal immigration creates real challenges, especially in townships and informal settlements where resources are already stretched thin. Undocumented immigrants often work in the informal economy, running spaza shops, doing construction, or street vending. This leads to competition for jobs, housing, and access to services like healthcare and education. In early 2026, Addington Primary School in Durban made headlines when it was discovered that dozens of undocumented foreign children were enrolled using fake documents. Parents were outraged, not at the children themselves, but at a system that allowed this to happen. With South African children struggling to get placements in decent schools, the discovery highlighted a bigger problem.
Tuesday. Today's the first time that he's actually meeting us on a Friday, and we've been trying to talk to him and find out what is going on. I mean, he's got ridiculous numbers of like 600 so children who are foreigners in the school. As you can see for yourself.
The discovery highlighted a bigger problem: weak verification systems at home affairs and schools overwhelmed by demand. This isn't about blaming kids. It's about asking, why are our systems so easy to bypass, and who's paying the price? However, it's not just in townships and informal settlements where this plays out. Head to South Africa's major cities, and you'll see the same pattern in different industries. If you've taken an Uber in Cape Town recently, you've probably noticed something. Many drivers are foreign nationals. In fact, a large percentage of Uber and Bolt drivers in the city are from Zimbabwe, Malawi, and other African countries. Is this a problem? Well, it depends on who you ask. Some South Africans say these jobs should go to locals first. Others point out that many South Africans don't want to do gig economy work because the pay is low and unstable. But here's the kicker. Some of these drivers are undocumented, which means they're working illegally. Uber and Bolt's verification processes have loopholes, and they're being exploited. Meanwhile, unemployed South Africans watch these opportunities pass them by. But it's not just Ubers and Bolts. Walk into many restaurants, construction sites, or factories across South Africa, and you'll find a pattern: employers hiring undocumented foreign workers over South Africans.
Yeah, it's a very unfortunate reality that we face across various industries, in fact, but especially the restaurant and hospitality sector, where we find that many establishments are employing foreign nationals without the requisite documentation being in place. And predominantly the reason for that is that people often think that they can get away with paying cheaper labor rates. They want to avoid any possible protest action. So there's a couple of factors that are influencing the decision.
And why, you may ask? Because undocumented workers are often willing to work longer hours for lower pay, with no benefits or legal protections. For unscrupulous employers, it's a cheap labor goldmine. This creates unfair competition. South Africans who need jobs are undercut by employers exploiting desperate immigrants. So the real villains here are the employers breaking the law and the government not enforcing it. There's also a security angle to consider. Some illegal immigrants are involved in criminal activities, drug trafficking, theft, and violence. But here's the truth. Most crimes in South Africa are in fact committed by South Africans, not foreigners. However, it is true that illegal immigration does strain our already weak border security and home affairs systems. Corruption at borders makes it easier for criminal networks to operate. So, is illegal immigration a problem in South Africa? Yes, it is. Does it need better management? Absolutely. But here's the thing. It's not the main reason we have unemployment, crime, or poverty. Those bigger issues, they come from corruption, poor governance, and how badly the economy's been managed. Illegal immigration puts extra strain on things, sure. But if we actually fix the system, that's what'll make a real difference. Think about what we've covered today. The Addington Primary School mess showed us how broken the verification system is and how it's failing South African families. Look at Cape Town's Uber and Bolt drivers. Those platforms have loopholes you could drive a truck through. Then there are restaurant and construction bosses exploiting undocumented workers for cheap labor, basically cutting South Africans out of the job market. And in the townships, spaza shops are competing against businesses that shouldn't even be there because our borders are like Swiss cheese. So what's the answer? We need to actually enforce immigration laws, secure the borders, go after the corrupt officials letting people through, hold employers accountable when they hire undocumented workers, fix home affairs so their systems actually work, and create real economic opportunities for South Africans. That's how you solve this, not by pointing fingers at immigrants, but by fixing the broken systems that let all this exploitation happen in the first place.